say. Plucked her eyebrows on the way, shaved her legs, and then he was a she. She says, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Said, hey honey, take a walk on the wild side. Candy came from out on the island. In the back room she was everybody's darling. But she never lost her head. Even when she was giving head, she says, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. Said, hey babe, take a walk on the wild side. And the colored girls go do 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 do.
Greetings. Welcome.
Oh, hey.
Greetings. Welcome. Happy October 7th, Durham College and UOIT students. I'm Ian Zachary Sukram. Alongside me is Darren Richie Rich Richardson. And our guest today, Magical Phil McCabe.
Hello.
You're now logged
Hello,
into
Phil.
the Hashtag Hour right here on riotradio.ca. Today we'll be bringing you the freshest up-to-date news, some super trendy music, and our I mentioned Phil already, our super wonderful guest from the Untitled Hockey Show and the star of Filthy Habits, the infamous Philip McCabe. And of course, we'll be visiting all the top trends and hashtags from the web this week. Coming up right now, the freshest up-to-date news. Just gonna groove on the music.
Oh. Get groovy with that.
That was quite groovy.
That was. I like that. That's a good way to
Very
start your
groovy.
morning.
Okay, so as we all know,
he's a
the
DJ.
wait- The wait is
Spinning
over.
tracks.
Thanks for mentioning that.
Doesn't care anymore.
Like I was
okay.
saying, the wait is finally over. Blue Jay fever is in the air. After 22 years, the Blue Jays are ending the longest playoff drought in North American sports. We are less than 26 hours away from the pivotal ALDS series against the Texas Rangers. Fellas, are you infected with the fever? Are you
No.
That
infected
sounds
with
like a
Blue Jay
personal
fever?
question. But
It's-
no, I think it's hard not to be infected with Blue Jays fever. Ever since that David Price trade, and even before that, the Tulo acquisition and stuff, everyone in the city of Toronto has been a buzz about it. You know, a friend of mine went to go see that stage show Motown, and she was saying even people in the show were checking the score of the Blue Jays games and stuff. So
It's such a wonderful thing. Like way back in 1992, even maybe like back to 88 when the Skydome, Rogers Skydome was first constructed. It was such a wonderful thing to see all the seats filled out. You could never get a ticket. And then for so many years, it was just like this empty cemetery.
Well, that's what
And-
happens when a team doesn't do as well. You know.
you'd think so, but I mean, look at your Leafs. They sell out
yeah,
literally
Leafs.
every game.
Oh, guys, let's not wreck
It's
the
it's
morning
that
by talking
hopeful
about Maple
that
Leafs.
hopefulness that they have. They're hoping that the Leafs might win a game, so they sell it every home game.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
point is it's just so wonderful to see the fans in the stands again. Loud, roarous crowds. I love it. Should I enjoy the moment right now, or should I be jumping ahead and worrying about David Price re-signing with us for a giant contract?
I think
No,
you should
should
just
I
enjoy
just-
the moment.
should I
Enjoy
live
the
in the
moment.
now?
Focus on the playoffs right now. You know,
Yeah.
the drought's done, and like you said, it's the longest drought in Major League history. So it's exciting, and I think, you know, if the Jays make any semblance of push, David Price would be kind of silly not to even consider re-signing.
One major thing is we have such high expectations on our Toronto teams, especially when they reach the playoffs. Even like last year with the Maple Leafs, you know, we're making it to the playoffs. We're doing this, we're doing that, and none of that happens.
I know they finished like 14th.
What expectations should we have for the Blue Jays in this first coming series?
I think they're going to win it all. That's the expectation.
Yeah,
I
got to go with Darren on that one. You know, why not
go big or
pray
go
that
home.
they go for broke? You know, they're odds-on favorites to win. And like I was telling Darren before the show, I don't think there's a team in the league that could beat them in a 7-game series.
What?
You really got to think about this one.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely have to think things through here.
Yeah.
So, Toronto Blue Jays, everyone has Blue Jays fever. It seems like the Toronto Maple Leafs are finally playing second fiddle. Is anyone
I
talking
think
about
right now, yeah, the Leafs have kind of taken that second seat.
You know, if Jays get knocked out in the first round, then I can almost guarantee they'll be like, all right, whatever. Leafs time.
Yeah.
That was the question I was thinking about. 3 o'clock starts. What's going on with this start?
It's just how it was scheduled. Even like I was watching Sportsnet this morning, and Buck Martinez was apologizing to fans, but he's like, you know, that's how TV scheduling works sometimes. Hopefully you can catch first pitch. If not, listen in to the Fan 590 and so on. Like, you got to do what you got to do to watch the game.
Yeah, it just seems like a silly thing to start the game at 3 o'clock. Like, why?
On a weekday, too.
On a weekday. Like, Rogers is like this giant corporation. It controls everything. It's been charging me double my bill for the last 3 years. Why are they succumbing to like this 3 o'clock time?
Because then they have the primetime game in Kansas City and Houston playing at 7 p.m. That way, baseball fans can see both games without having to worry about missing something.
Did anyone catch the Yankees versus Astros last night?
I
No.
did. Dallas Keuchel was lights out, as everyone expected, and the guys that were on before you were talking about baseball, and it's kind of sad that as soon as the Yankees started to lose, their players were getting booed. But
Yes. I love it. One of my favorite hobbies is just watching New York teams, especially the New York Yankees, just get beat in any way. One of my favorite hobbies. I loved it. I enjoyed last night's game. But switching over to hockey. Leafs against the Canadiens tonight. What are our expectations for the Leafs? Should we just expect them to have a subpar season? Should I get my hopes up?
I wouldn't say get
Should
your
I
hopes
buy a
up.
jersey?
well, I mean, if you want to buy a jersey, buy a jersey. But
No, I don't want to.
Yeah, I got it, Darren. Don't
Well, I
let me
mean,
get
hey,
your hopes up.
everyone needs toilet paper, right?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
shots
expensive
fired.
toilet paper. That's expensive.
Just got shady in here.
Is there a player on the Toronto Maple Leafs that I should really be excited about?
Not really.
Not really.
No,
What about our captain?
Like the most exciting piece of the Leafs team right now is probably Babcock.
That is very exciting. When
Yeah.
he speaks, everyone listens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like behind the scenes people are the people to be excited about right
Yeah,
now.
I think a Toronto team in like 5 years, that'll be a team that you want to watch. But right now, they're still rebuilding.
Okay, so what could we do in the meantime as Leaf fans? Should we just be studying the
Cheer for other
enemies?
teams.
Cheer for
Actually
Ottawa or something.
cheer for other teams, or
Yeah.
should we just be studying everyone else? And
Well, learn what you can under Babcock, under Lamoriello, and then go from there. Because they both come from a winning culture, winning teams. So there's no reason that the rebuild can't work.
Yeah.
interesting. So, I mean, right now sports are just dominating all the headlines from like actual news.
Well, yeah, you know, Blue Jays making the playoffs. Basketball's coming up. Hockey starts tonight. Sports
Yes.
fever, man.
It's sports fever, but there's something in the news that's happening locally that it just seems like a made-for-TV Law and Order episode. The case of the DUI case where 3 people lost their lives. The Marco Mezzo story.
Well, it was 4 people lost their lives. It was grandpa and 3 kids.
That's
Yeah,
right.
It's 3 grandchildren.
That's right. So again, it's set up for like the ultimate law case. It's Marco Mezzo, the young bachelor who is backed by his billionaire grandfather against, you know, the victims of this horrible accident.
Mm-hmm.
He's about to put in his plea in a couple of days. What do you think he's going to be? What his plea is going to be? What his defense is going to be?
Well, okay, it's either going to be like an out-of-court settlement, so he can keep it quiet, or he's just going to plead not guilty and try to fight it through, or something. I
So-
feel like he's going to try to use his money to his advantage that way. You know.
So he pleads not guilty. So what do you think is going to be his like frame of mind for entering this plea? Like what reason can he give? Like I heard that he just got off like a plane, like a flight, and then he like just jumped into his car.
Yeah, but
Do you think he
jet
can
lag's not an
plead some
excuse
kind of-
to
Yeah.
kill people.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
it's definitely not a legitimate excuse, but being put in that situation.
Yeah, I'm
What,
not even sure.
What would you go with here?
Obviously, I've never been in that situation, but I honestly don't know what I would go with. You know, if you're really going to plead not guilty, what are you going to say? Oh, grandpa and kids came out of nowhere. They were threatening me
he
with a
would-
knife.
no,
I
he
was
would definitely
thinking-
try to pin it on them. He would try to say that it was their fault that the accident happened. You know.
Yeah, blame grandpa's eyes or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I was thinking, like, you know, he gets off this plane. He claims jet lag. I was really tired. I was really exhausted. Do you think that is going to fly at all? Because
No, I really,
evidence.
I really
to
don't
back it up.
think it would fly because he's like a billionaire. He could afford to get a driver or a cab. You know.
I see.
Yeah. He's like this rich guy from a rich family. You
There
should be
was,
thinking that way.
I heard about another case, another DUI case, where a gentleman was taking some type of like vodka shots and then jumped in his car and he ended up driving backwards on the 401 and he killed 2 people and he got sentenced to 5 years in prison. So what do you think is a just, if he's found guilty, if Marco Mezzo is found guilty, what do you think is a justifiable
If
punishment?
he's found guilty and I'm that judge, then I'd give him no less than 10 years.
No less than 10 years? So
He
that's
took
like
away 3 children's lives.
I'm
and
gonna
a
say-
elderly
2
gentleman.
years per life.
I'm gonna say like 16 years. You know, 4 for each count of vehicular manslaughter
Yeah, that's
and
like a
the drunk
rightful-
driving charge. Maybe give him some chance of parole after like 10 years if he's
Give
been
him
behaving
cruel
good.
irony of having to drive convicts around.
Yeah.
That is horribly cruel. That is horribly cool. So, coming up, we got a double dose of Major Lazer coming up, followed by Diplo and Santi Gold, right here on riotradio.ca.
Do you recall not long ago when you would walk on the sidewalk? Innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other. But the night was warm, we were bold and young. All around, the wind
fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire. Some of them are evil from them Christian, so one by one them are missing. Now beat them with baton, feed them go fatten in a prison. When Bingy jump start whistle, Babylon drop and cripple. Them judgment double and triple, call them up coming like icicle. When me just blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, wheel out. Look how me is pan top of the rhythm and know me the beats. From in the beginning and then me the season, second and season, trample the beast. Lord, I Rastafari and say him brought the seven seal. Again I say fi is and second and six. But me do me just blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, aye. Say you sow what you reap. The day you harvest, the tares grow with the wheat. Me know them a vampire, cause them show me the teeth. Hey, when me just bear pack up a juice we full of all kind of sitting. I real as a man a lion can't come take man fi kitten. Me ready fi chant down Babylon, them sins can't forgive. We rock and pop off without them can't believe what we risk. I'm just blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, aye. What me do me just blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze it till, blaze it till, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, blaze it till the morning. Blaze up the fire, King Selassie, I send a skin and teeth, last man on the streets, I mean King Selassie, I know.
Trouble entry, trouble gang, bang, bang. Santo Gold, they get these Santo Flat.
Well,
And welcome back to Riot Radio. You are listening to the Hashtag Hour. We were just listening to Lean On and Blaze Up the Fire by Major Lazer, followed by Guns of Brooklyn, Santi Gold, Diplo.
Some good tunes.
I liked it. I mean, that's what I need to get myself motivated in the morning. I need some like high tempo energy music to make me feel good, just in case my coffee doesn't kick in or someone switched with the decaf. I don't know if that's happened to you guys before.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Well,
That seems like the cruelest joke you could play on someone is putting decaf instead of caffeinated.
it's a horrible thing to experience.
what's the
It's definitely the worst thing you could do to a human being.
It's a horrible thing to experience, especially at 7 a.m. in the morning. All right, friends. As we mentioned before, we've got the lovely and talented and entertaining Philip McCabe, Untitled Hockey Show, and the Filthy Hour.
Filthy habits.
Filthy habits.
Filthy.
I know what he
habits.
meant. It's all good.
It's all
It's
good.
fine.
He's forgiven me. So, Philip, you're highly entertaining. You always have fresh comments to make. I want to know what's been entertaining you lately. When you turn on the television, what's been taking up your time? What's been entertaining you? And what has been a complete waste of your time?
Most things on Netflix seem to be a waste of my time, to be honest. The other day I put on a movie because it seemed like it was going to be some cool kung fu action flick. And guess who the villain was? Dolph Lundgren.
Oh.
Why? I gave it
because?
15 minutes, and you know what happened? It was just slow motion people getting stabbed. No,
what
thank
movie
you.
Is this? What is this?
It's called Puncture Wounds. Don't watch it.
Puncture
Well, of
Wounds.
course, it's just going to be people getting stabbed.
It's
says
called
that-
Puncture Wounds.
Yeah, it's
but-
called puncture wounds.
Sorry, it had a UFC fighter as the main character. I would have thought, okay, maybe he's gonna like throw people around and pull off cool combos, but no, he's just stabbing people.
If it's got a UFC guy or like a WWE guy, it's not going to be a good time. I've learned that.
The
Okay,
Expendables was all right.
that was all
I
right.
haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen
No,
that.
as
The
far
only
as
exception
TV,
to that is The Rock. Every movie he's in is great,
That's true. The Rundown, awesome.
except for maybe
the
Tooth
Tooth
Fairy.
Fairy one
Yeah.
wasn't so great, but
But everything else
great
in his
muscular
catalog
definition.
is yeah,
Uses a lot of baby oil.
he does.
Okay, so let's say this weekend I have 3 hours to entertain myself, and I go onto Netflix. What should I be watching?
You should watch.
I don't have time for Dolph Lundgren's
You should watch Blue is the Warmest Color.
Blue's the Warmest Color. Who's in that one?
It's a bunch of French people. I don't know how to pronounce their last names, so I'm not going to get into
I
that.
feel like he's just making that up.
Have you not seen that movie?
I have not.
It's a beautiful
Why would
love
I
story.
watch that?
It's a beautiful love story. That's why.
No.
Have you guys seen the new Narco
I have
series
not.
yet?
Yes, it's pretty good.
It is good.
Is it?
I've been hearing things. I wasn't really like too into it.
Well,
I
I
did-
think
I
about
just-
Pablo
I've just been hearing
Escobar is
great
good.
reviews. So
I just assumed that it was like a Netflix knockoff of Breaking Bad or something.
No, it's the dramatic retelling of the rise and fall of Pablo Escobar,
You know what that sounds like? It might be a good time.
the most renowned drug cartel in history.
Yeah.
well, that's
Might be a fun time.
they've had a couple of Pablo Escobar, documentary films, and then I think they had one. With,
Well, even Entourage did their own take on it when the main character Vincent Chase starred as Pablo Escobar.
is this the
a good
latest
season.
Entourage movie?
No,
Or
it
just-
was a season in the show Entourage where basically the whole season leads to them filming this Pablo Escobar movie, and then the next season afterwards, the movie's a complete flop.
Oh lordy!
So go ahead and check out Entourage.
So this past weekend we had the season finale of the spin-off Walking Dead show, Fear of the Walking Dead. I saw the first episode and I saw the final episode.
I didn't see
What's
any
in
of
the
them.
middle?
Man, I didn't see any of them.
I don't think it really matters.
No?
It's zombies. It's people trying to kill zombies. That's all that matters, really.
Oh no, the zombies are coming! Run!
I imagine it's probably similar to the first season of The Walking Dead. You know, people are like, "Oh, zombies," and then they somehow learn how to live with zombies. It's it.
Yeah,
It's a formula.
It seems like they're in this discovery phase. They're not sure. They're seeing these zombies. They think they're like drug addicts or.
Yeah, they think they're just
Oh, so it's
they
like
don't really
the-
know what's
they think
happening.
they're
It
bath
just looks like
salts
a
people,
normal.
basically.
So that
Yeah.
whole season is like that one scene from Shaun of the Dead with the drunk guy, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
essentially. I don't know. I like Fear. I think, from what I've seen anyway, it seems to be a lot more character-driven, a lot more story-driven, as opposed to The Walking Dead, which to me anyway seems like it's now just a cash grab. We're doing it to keep making to keep making merchandise and keep making money.
So, like the first Walking Dead season, there was only 6 episodes for season 2 of Fear the Walking Dead, do you think there should be a cap on episodes? Do you think it should go in the same route as The Walking Dead and have
It's
12
probably
episodes?
It's probably going to go the same route as The Walking Dead. They're going to see The Walking Dead as a formula that worked for them, so they're just why fix it if it isn't broken, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, like I just mentioned, Fear the Walking Dead just ended, so that is the cue for season 6 of The Walking Dead to start. Are you guys excited? Are you guys hyped up? Are you guys just think this is... Are you just tired of the whole zombie...
No, I'm pretty tired of it because, you know, it was a cool concept, and, you know, the graphic novels were actually really entertaining, really fun read, but just give up already. It's so annoying that I see people wearing like, oh, I love Daryl t-shirts.
Yeah, they're really just trying to beat a dead horse at this point.
So what do you guys think? Like,
dead horse and it's a zombie show.
And there was a little reference to that horse that the zombies ate in the first season there. Yeah.
That was heartbreaking for me.
Throwback.
That was heartbreaking for me. I love that horse instantly. And I got attached.
I named him Chestnut.
I got attached right away, and before I came back...
See, I could have sworn that horse would have been like his best friend because, you know, he's like this cowboy, right? So horse just made sense. Should have kept it around longer.
And then he just, throughout the entire series, he just randomly, like, he'll be feeding the horse and then, oh no, a zombie's coming. And then the horse runs away.
Carl.
Okay, so we've been overwhelmed with zombies, death, tragic stories. I want to go in a different direction. What should I go in? What should I go and see if I'm tired of all these zombies?
Well, depends on what you want to see. Like, what kind of feel are you going for?
Well, that's why I'm asking Uncle Phil here. He's Captain Entertainment. He knows what's funny.
I'm hip.
He knows
I'm
what's not.
with it.
He's hip with it. He's cool.
No, honestly, any of these new shows on CTV or City are worth checking out. You know, there's that show, can't remember what it's called, The Ringer, with Rob Lowe. From what I was reading, from what I've seen, it's very brilliantly written and very well acted because it's Rob Lowe basically being his character from Parks and Rec as a lawyer.
I love that character.
Me personally, I'm pretty excited about that show, Blind Spot. It seems to be taking, you know, as we were discussing yesterday, it almost seems like it's a bit of Born Identity combined with 24, combined with conspiracies and stuff. It's got potential to be good.
Did that air yet? Did the first episode air?
It's episode 3 is next week.
I might check it out.
It's worth it. Try.
Oh, there's this other show that just came out with Priyanka Chopra.
Oh, Quantico?
Quantico. That looks kind of interesting, but again, it seems like it's just borrowing from other movies, so I don't know.
Well, to me, that seems like it's just a Criminal Minds, like, copy. Just they changed the plot where it's only one person and she's got to save the day every day.
What I find so interesting about that show is Priyanka Chopra, Miss World, Bollywood star. She seems like the first Indian actress to make the crossover to like a mainstream NBC ABC network show. That's what I find really interesting about it. But I just feel as if I've seen the show one too many times.
Well, and for me, I think it's kind of funny how many reviews and stuff I've read of the show are like, you're only seeing the main character as a terrorist because she's brown. No, the fact that she's brown has nothing to do with it. The whole, even if it was the whitest of white and, you know, let's say Baby Spice, to reference the most out-of-date, irrelevant person.
Oh, man.
The point of the story is this person that just got into the FBI is the main suspect. So the fact she's brown is irrelevant. Figure it out, people.
Figure it out. Wake up, America.
Okay, so let's say... Oh, sorry. Any movies that are coming out that you're particularly excited about?
Well, The Martian just came out. That looks pretty good.
It does look good. You know, as much as it's Castaway in space, I think
it really just
got
is
potential.
Castaway in space.
Ridley Scott is a fantastic director. That is who directed it, right?
Yes, Ridley Scott directed it.
Ridley Scott's a fantastic director. Matt Damon, as much as I tried to hate him over the years, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
His supporting cast is unreal.
Why are you trying to hate Matt Damon?
It's not that I hate Matt Damon. It's just, you know, you see him in Good Will Hunting and movies after that and stuff. He always played the same, just down on his luck, blue collar guy
Well-
that somehow gets put in awesome circumstances.
Well, essentially, he's playing the same role that he was playing in Interstellar in The Martian.
He was in Interstellar.
Yeah, he was the guy who was stuck on the planet, right? He had a fist fight with Matthew McConaughey on the ice planet.
I didn't watch that because it seemed like it was 2 hours of Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
It really kind of is. Murph. I mean, it's a good movie, but you got to put up with Matthew McConaughey.
Is it
That's the
worth your
con.
time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you
I
want
mean,
to
you
go
could-
see The Martian, but as soon as you mention that, it gets directly compared to Interstellar.
Well, because
Or
it
Gravity.
seems
So-
really similar to Interstellar.
If
They
I
even
watch
have the-
both movies, how much space travel can I take in? I don't know.
The thing that makes it even worse is that Matt Damon is in both, and that girl who played the adult Murph is also in The Martian. So
Jeff
they
Daniels
could have
is
just
in
made an
that.
Interstellar like prequel or something. I would have been fine with that.
Interstellar, Interspace.
Yeah, there you go.
No, it should be noted that Jeff Daniels is in The Martian, and
Is he?
if you haven't seen it, watch The Newsroom. It is easily the best written show I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of that show.
It's so just the opening sequence of the pilot episode is unreal.
That's why I love Jeff Daniels, because he's such a great comedic actor, and then he can just like switch it so quickly and get into like
You
the
put
most
the right
dramatic
script in
pieces.
front of him, and he's right there with the big boys of acting.
He's the man. So, what movie should I avoid in the next coming weeks?
At all costs, Hitman. It was, I don't know if you play the
yeah.
video games or what have you, but either way, it wasn't a good movie. The whole point of Hitman is supposed to be super cold assassin that just kills people and like doesn't care.
Is that the second or third installment of that?
It's
Same movie?
technically the first of a like rejuvenation. They tried to reboot it with different people and stuff, and it just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, it's the second one because there was one in 2007, I think.
I guess I'm just confusing it with the transporter. I guess it had,
Transporter,
like,
yeah.
two or
Transporters
three-
were good. I enjoyed those films though.
Isn't there
you see
another
the new
one of
one?
those coming out?
Yeah, there's a new one coming out. I don't know if I want to see it. It's not Jason Statham, so
I know everyone's
kind of
so
ruins the whole
attached.
transporter image for me.
He changed the game for
But-
bald men.
Yeah, but I mean, he had like that original Transporter trilogy, so maybe he's just passing the torch to a new guy, new trilogy. Maybe I'm just bitter about him not being in the Transporter. Maybe this new Transporter will be great. I don't know.
Before Jason Statham, it was all about Bruce Willis
Yeah.
owning his baldness, and then he passed the baldness torch to Jason Statham.
Jason Statham is better.
Who's going to be the next carrier of the bald torch?
Tobey Maguire. He's going to reprise his role as like a really elderly Spider-Man. He's just going to be bald.
Back when I was Spider-Man,
He's going to become like Uncle Ben.
The
You
new
know?
Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
So who's going to play the new Spider-Man?
They've already got some British kid doing it.
Yeah, he's like some
Yeah, he's
17-year-old kid.
17 something. While we're talking about who's going to play the next, there's been a lot of talk of Idris Elba, the black gentleman or African American gentleman, whichever you prefer I use.
I believe he's from the UK.
Is he the one who's supposed to play Bond?
Yes,
Yes.
there's a lot of talk that he's going to be Bond after Daniel Craig retires.
I've heard that a lot. Does that sit well with you guys?
It does.
I mean, it does, but it also doesn't because James Bond was written as like this white British dude, right?
Yeah, and
So-
it's not even necessarily that I don't like the fact that he's black, because that's inaccurate in
I think
the
they should
highest
just
form.
they should create a new character for him in that universe, like
Yeah,
like a James
in the
Bond
James Bond
successor,
universe.
Yeah, I think,
Jim
007, why
Bond.
can't we have like 009
Yeah,
and have him play this character
because
instead of
I
him
really think
taking over the
007 has been
old-
played out. They've been making movies since like the 60s.
Yeah,
You
this
know?
this one Spectre that's coming out is the 24th movie.
Yeah,
Well, one thing I'll say about the James Bond franchises is they always raise their game. Like their newest movie always tops the last one in action scenes and driving scenes and in dramatics. So I really like that about the 007 franchise, but I'm not too hot on the idea of replacing the James Bond 00 character with like a complete opposite version.
Yeah.
But that's the whole. To me, anyway, that's what makes James Bond great. Is it's at this point it's become a movie persona. It's not even a single person. It's just a character that if you keep to the spy mentality, it's just once that person dies or retires, someone else takes the name and persona of James Bond.
And And it makes it like really interesting how like race becomes a factor,
Yeah,
right?
and
And
it's
people
sad.
don't want him. People don't want him not because it's black. It's just
They don't want, like, they don't think the character.
exactly. So it goes into this racial argument, which I just don't feel is
Yeah,
is
and
correct.
it's kind of sad. I think it was Pierce Brosnan that did a little interview about something, and they brought up, well, you used to be James Bond. What do you think about Idris taking over? And he's like, it's fine. He's a great actor.
Don't listen to him. He's jealous of every James Bond after him.
There's
He
only
wants
been
the
one
spotlight
after him.
back. Oh, really? It was just
Yeah,
Daniel
it's-
Craig? I thought
Daniel
there
Craig
was-
is now on
Daniel
movie
Craig
4.
was the best Bond, so
I think he
He's-
just
he's
took
the
his
most
own
ripped.
approach to it. Like, everyone tried to be that suave, debonair, fix my tie and cufflinks guy.
Yeah.
Where Daniel Craig was still suave and debonair, but then when
He
push
was
came
suave
to
when he needed to
shove, it was time to break through walls, literally.
Yeah, and you could believe that because like
Yeah.
he's like the first James Bond to be like ripped and muscles and
yeah, like he had that physical
eight-pack.
presence, you know.
Yeah, you
The
believe that
first one he
you
was
believe
in,
that he's
he
a spy.
literally broke through drywall. That's awesome.
Pierce Bronson, his James Bond character is the same character in Mrs. Doubtfire when he was just like this.
He's James Bond in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. Oh, James Bond.
James Bond. Bond. James Bond.
Oh man, I was gonna do that, but you beat me. You beat me
I-
right to it.
Beat you to it, man. I beat you to it.
Okay, so we talked about some television. We talked about some movies. Anything else worth checking out?
I don't think there's any new movies really coming out till next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Playoff
avoid
baseball.
Angry Birds though. Avoid Angry Birds. That movie is gonna be
You
bad.
don't want to watch it just for the novelty of saying you saw Angry Birds?
No, it looks bad. It looks really cheesy and corny. That's like 2 hours of my life I'm not gonna get back. Why do I want to sit through that?
Yeah, but it's Jason Sudeikis as a fat bird.
I know. I mean, that's like the only selling point.
I'm too old for these angry birds. Yeah, the problem right now is like there's so much content available. There's so many things to watch and view that there's not enough life to
And
experience
superhero
all these
movies.
things.
Superhero movies. There's way too many of those.
Yeah,
Yes.
They're
that's
pumping
a-
those out like every 3 months. Like, it's
Well, I mean,
ridiculous.
look at the fact that one director flat out said the only reason they're making Batman versus Superman is so they can make Justice League movies.
Yeah.
And then after Justice League movies, they're going to give all of the members of the Justice League their own movies.
Yeah, that's exactly what Marvel's doing too.
It's embarrassing. Like,
Like-
I don't need Thor 5.
Like, if-
Thor gets personal.
Like if you've seen the like the layout for Phase 3 of Marvel's movies or whatever, like they've got 2 movies coming out every single year, all around characters that like I didn't hear of until I saw that poster.
All right, let me ask you this
Yeah.
question, guys. What was the last superhero movie that you really, really liked?
Spider-Man, to be honest.
Which one?
Which one, though?
Toby?
I think Spider-Man
Andrew?
like 2 or whatever.
The Amazing Spider-Man with Jamie Foxx?
No, the one with Tobey Maguire, man.
Oh.
And
Boo.
is the Venom costume?
The one with James Franco or whatever.
Oh, boo. That was
that was probably the last superhero movie I've seen in general.
Oh,
And I just
Lord,
remember that
that's
it
like-
was
my goodness.
somewhat enjoyable. I don't like
There
superhero
have
movies.
been good ones. I think for me, biggest, most enjoyable one had to be Big Hero 6. Not even because it was a cool Disney Pixar movie that was animated really well. It was fun. And, I've got nieces and nephews. I think that's one of those movies that's fun for the whole family. But you've got an hour and 40 minutes to kill. Why don't you put that on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's visually stimulating the entire time. It's not like you're going to sit there and be like, I'm
That's
looking
one of
at
the
nothing.
That's one of the big pros about the Marvel, the superhero movies is that it's for everyone.
Yeah. It's really about like big family fun
Yeah.
while keeping it entertaining, like with action sequences and I don't know. I just feel like it's way too saturated. There's too many, You got Marvel, DC,
Yeah,
everyone's
that's what
trying
I'm
to throw them out there.
There's just so much content out there. You really have to weed out what's terrible and just go.
I mean, like
to what's
I am
great.
looking forward to Suicide Squad though. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. What
I'm-
character are you most interested in?
I'm most interested in Joker. I want to see
Yeah.
Leto's take on that because he's a great actor. He's phenomenal.
Well,
I love him, but
Did you see the trailer for it?
Yeah.
When he was only in the last 5 seconds.
Mhm.
That had me hooked. That had me
yeah,
wanting
it had
to
me.
see
It had me
what
hooked on
he's
his
doing.
character. Yeah.
Not the big Jared Leto fan out there, but I have to agree. Once seeing him in the Joker makeup,
Yeah, it just sucks because he's getting a lot of flack, right? Because it's like a new take on the Joker.
Well,
And
it almost looks like
want
Marilyn
Ledger's
Manson
Joker. Like people
had a
want
baby with
Ledger's.
Joe back.
yes, that must be the toughest job in Hollywood, reinventing the Heath Ledger character.
Like I don't know what made me want to watch some of his scenes, but like I went on YouTube and checked out some of the scenes from Ledger's Joker, right? And so that's fresh in my mind. And he was a really good Joker, Like No
He
doubt.
was very good. And, I
he
think
is
that's
probably
where he
the
got
best
that
to
award.
date. Yeah,
I agree.
like he was phenomenal.
All right, gentlemen, let us move on to top trends, top hashtags.
All right, is that my cue?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, pop this open.
See, Darren
Fill
doesn't
time,
come
fill time.
prepared.
I'm not prepared.
Before we switch off Suicide Squad, I am excited to see Harley Quinn and Deadshot together, just because Margot Robbie and Will Smith have apparently amazing chemistry together. I watched that movie Focus, and they feed off each other really well.
Oh man.
So no, I heard that Will
Smith's
Smith.
been letting me down.
It doesn't help that she's super attractive.
I heard that
Will
Will
Smith's
Smith
just
is not
let me
like
down.
a very good ensemble cast player. Like every Will Smith movie I think of, it's like he's the guy.
He's Will
I'm
Smith.
I'm thinking like I Am Legend, Pursuit of Happiness. Like he's the guy.
Yeah, but
So-
I mean, he's still technically the guy, because Deadshot and Harley Quinn are like the front runners for Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
See, I never believe Will Smith is actually the character that he's playing. I always just see it.
You
he's
see
just
him
like-
as an actor portraying character.
No, I just see the actor Will Smith, and he's Will Smith in every movie. He's Will Smith in Hutch. He's Will Smith in I Am Legend.
I Am Legend
never-
was a
he never-
good time.
I don't find he ever like takes on any challenging acting roles.
Well, I mean, he
Well,
tried to make
Pursuit of
After
Happiness was
Earth.
pretty good.
He tried to make After Earth good. That must have been really hard. And he was there with Jaden, so he
I'm
was
gonna get my son.
Jaden was sitting off on the side just spewing nonsense the whole time.
Is there a role for my son in this?
If a tree falls on the forest, is it still a tree?
Yeah,
It's Jaden.
he was sitting there like on set saying stuff like that.
Daddy, if our
Jaden's
millions
little-
of dollars go away, will you still take care of me? Yes, son.
Of course.
Yes, Jaden. No, now get into hair and makeup.
Again.
Go back to hair and makeup. You don't look dead enough.
Have you brought up the hashtags yet?
No, I was waiting for a little break here. So
Well, multitask here, Darren.
You know what? I can
look,
multitask. Look,
I'm touching buttons on your computer. I'm
touch buttons.
multitasking.
Don't turn the volume up. That's not what we want.
Hey,
Okay, so it's Wednesday. That means the top hashtag is Woman Crush Wednesday.
Oh yes, Women Crush Wednesday. I was a little
Yes.
confused about this. Is this my crush on a female or
Yes.
females' crushes on?
well, I think
It's
it's
the
more
crush
so
on
like
female.
from what I've seen anyway, is it's more so like females admit another woman that they have a crush on, like admire.
So can we still play this game then?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
no, we
could.
can't. It's for everybody, but
All
For
right.
instance, I could say that girl's my woman crush Wednesday. There you go.
Oh, interesting. Hi.
Easy enough.
just
Which
wait.
probably heard.
Maybe she did. Maybe she'll come in here and get your number. Who knows?
I think that's
knows?
I think that's a great possibility. But we mustn't use our powers for evil, friends. Only good.
Oh,
Except
it'll
for
all
evil.
be good.
Our radio powers, they've been given to us
They've been
in
given.
the highest honor.
Okay, so Woman Crush Wednesday.
Do you have a
you
woman
have one?
crush this Wednesday?
Let me see. I haven't really had celebrity crushes in a long time. I'm always a stickler for the UFC girls.
Ronda Rousey
Ariane
scares me.
Celeste. She scares you?
Ronda Rousey scares me.
Oh,
She
Ronda Rousey,
terrifies
yeah,
me.
She's
No. Didn't Ariana beat her boyfriend up and go to jail for a night or something?
I think that might have been on the Durham College gossip page.
No, I remember reading that on Fox News. I can't remember which UFC ring girl it was, but one of them beat up their boyfriend.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
And
I'm
other
pretty
one,
sure I remember hearing something like that. Yeah.
I also know that the other one, Brittany Palmer, has a degree from either Harvard or Stanford or something like that. Because, and I quote, "Well, I'm not going to be pretty forever, so I need something to fall back on."
She's actually a really talented artist. If you go into like her website, she has really really great paintings of like historic movie images. So there's a couple paintings of Clint Eastwood. Really fantastic. So I'm dying to know, guys, who is your? I've shared my crush. Who's your crush of the moment of this Wednesday?
Amelia Clark. I'm gonna have to say Amelia Clark.
Good choice.
Who's that?
The lady from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she is Khaleesi. Mother of Dragons. Never seen Game of Thrones, but
Oh,
She's
still
also
that
way,
Sarah
then.
Connor for some reason.
oh yeah, in the new Terminator she is, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
Yes, she's Sarah Connor.
Yeah,
Oh my word.
that's a thing.
Get worked
I'm
out.
gonna have to give my woman crush to the woman I've had a crush on since Pearl Harbor and Underworld, Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
She's of the attractive sort.
Yeah, no, I used to have the same crush as well, but the last couple movies, I don't know if you saw the new Total Recall movie.
was all right.
She looked
Who-
all
who's
right,
the
but she
leading
just looked
actor in that?
so Colin
Farrell.
such and such. She
Oh, no,
just
I was
looked
thinking
really
Tom Cruise.
unhealthily underweight. And it seems like each movie she does, she's just like getting skinnier and skinnier.
She's supposed to be
and
doing
it's-
another Underworld, so I'd be curious to see if, she gets back into vampire shape or if she continues to digress into
She's-
anorexia.
Yeah, get her a greasy sandwich, someone, please. We can make a difference.
Make a difference. Just send her some sandwiches, some Big
Should I
Macs.
fix you some sandwiches?
Just send it to her.
I'm sure she'll love poutine. I'm sure she'll love it.
Get
Why
her to eat
wouldn't
22
she?
pounds, like that guy in the
Oh,
eating
the
contest.
record.
Yeah.
22 pounds of poutine is too much.
He's got to be at least like 10-15% poutine at that point. Like,
His
Yes.
blood is gravy. His arteries, cheese curds.
yeah. I can't even like imagine what 22 pounds of poutine would look like in front of me, let alone how you would manage to eat that much.
Imagine it coming out of you.
No, I don't want to because that's too
You'll-
much grease.
you'll
That's
need
too much
medical
gravy.
assistance. You'll definitely need medical assistance.
Well, yeah, there's so much grease. It's just like a slip and slide coming out.
Yeah.
You know.
For those that don't know, over the past weekend at Dundas Square, there was a Smook's Poutineery eat-off.
Oh,
And
it's
the
smoked
winner-
They were giving
too.
free poutine out all day too.
There was an amateur contest, and then there was also a professional contest. And the winner inhaled 22 pounds of poutine
In 10 minutes too.
in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
for
10 minutes.
22 That's ridiculous.
That was the time frame allotted, and he scarfed down 22 pounds of poutine.
That's
insanity.
ridiculous. Like I can't
That's
eat
insanity.
a regular smoked poutine in like 20 minutes.
I know it takes me some time.
You gotta,
alright?
you gotta
breathe it out.
embrace that. You're
gotta
gonna
breathe it out.
go to a hot dog eating contest. That's one thing, but like poutine is something of magic and wonder. You
And
just
it's
gotta
because it's potato, man. It's
enjoy
so
it.
starchy, you know.
It's heavy. It's really heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, I guarantee that's the worst gut rot that guy's ever felt later that day.
Oh,
Let
yeah.
me ask you, what would you guys rather have? 22 pounds of hot dogs and buns in your stomach, or 22 pounds of poutine?
Poutine.
Hot dogs,
Uh-oh.
because I could actually
Settle
eat
down.
that.
I could eat 22 pounds of poutine. Maybe not in 10 minutes, but you give me some time, I'll do it.
Now, if it was a steak eating contest, I would do that all day, every day.
Oh, have you seen
Well,
that
I don't
video
thi- I
of that
don't
like
think he'd last a
90-pound
good day.
woman devouring like a 24-ounce steak?
No, but that sounds like
No,
something I'm gonna look into.
It's crazy. She just had it like in her hands and just went to town on it and ate it in like
It's like the
under a
episode of
minute.
Simpsons when Homer challenges that trucker to eat the like giant 10-pound steak.
Yeah, we have to have a show just dedicated to awesome Simpson moments, because it seems like Simpsons are winding down. It seems like the end.
Well, yeah,
27 years.
near.
I heard that after season 30, that's the end. They're just gonna
Which
do
it
30
makes sense
seasons.
because I'm a lifelong fan, mostly because my older brothers kind of forced me to get into it. But it's they should have ended at 20 years, then again at 25. So if they were to end now, it seemed like we're like, well, why not just end at a milestone, guys?
Yeah, I think that's what
And
they're
30
trying
years
to
of
push
Simpsons is that's
Yeah.
that's
for.
good.
It's plenty.
Yeah,
That's
it's
literally a
broken every
lifetime
record.
of memories.
It's
That's
broken
like an
every record.
entire generation, right there.
Yeah,
of
the
people,
fact that
you know.
my brother's been watching it since he was 6 years old.
Yeah.
It's broken. It's
I
broken
think.
every record.
3.
I found like the Simpsons show was kind of lagging on a little bit, but when the movie came out, it just kind of like reinvented the whole thing for me.
Well,
But
you got to
going
give
back to the
kudos though, like
shows-
for them keeping it going this long and
And
still,
still having fresh
Yeah,
ideas.
still having
Yeah.
fresh ideas to bring to the table. Like, I mean, some of them might not be the greatest, but they're still
No, at
doing
least
it.
they're trying. And,
Yeah.
I think that's where I think my favorite South Park episode of all time is the one when Butters is Professor Chaos and he's trying to come up with something to do to, like, ruin the town. And his little pal there, Simpsons did it, Simpsons did it. A lot of people were like, why are they insulting the Simpsons when that's not an insult to them? That's literally, we've been around 2
Homage.
years younger than the Simpsons, and look how much they've done already.
Yeah. It's
See,
two great shows. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes left. Any other hashtags that we'd like to explore for
Well,
this week?
the Caspian Sea is trending because Russian warships they've launched an attack on ISIS positions
In Syria.
in Syria.
Yes.
From the
seems to have
Caspian Sea,
taken the
okay.
lead.
Yeah, Russia's really trying to take on that leadership role, I guess, in the fight against ISIS.
So, do we as North Americans need to get more involved militarily, or should we just let the Russians handle everything?
Well, I mean, if the Russians want to handle it, let them handle it. But I don't think America's going to like that if Russia's
No,
you know,
it
all up
kinda-
in that Middle East doing
it-
whatever they want.
To me, I think it kind of becomes a blank measuring contest. So I think that the United States would probably want to bring their warships to the Caspian Sea and be like, yeah, we'll launch attacks too.
See,
we're,
but my
we're
thing,
tough.
my thing
They're
is like,
already there.
the United States were so eager to get into Afghanistan and Iraq and all that, you know, not this time around.
Yeah,
Even
those
though,
seems like
even though there's more
corporate-led
public
wars.
support now than there was for other wars that they've gotten into, like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, whatever, I saw a poll that was like 53% of Americans said to go in and try to help out Syria with this problem. Still not doing it. Like airstrikes aren't cutting it. And
Well,
and they like just did a airstrike on a Doctors Without Borders hospital. I'm not saying it's on purpose.
There's no mercy.
but
There's no mercy.
No, and that's that, to me, that raises a moral question of, is it really humane that you send unmanned drones to just fire missiles from thousands of feet in the air where
Well-
the people on the ground don't even know what's happening until they hear the
it's definitely not. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have seen that speech that this, like, I don't know, saying like 12-year-old kid did at the UN or something, where he was talking about how he was scared of like the blue sky because that's when the drone strikes would come. You know, like that's terrifying. I would not be able
to
to.
be scared of a nice day because
Yeah.
you know that's when
When you wake up and you see a blue sky and the sun shining, and you're just like, well, crap.
It's
I'm
horrible.
probably going to
It's
get
horrible.
bombed now. That's terrible.
Right
Like,
now,
that's
the Saudi
terrifying.
Arabian government is doing similar actions against Yemen. They just recently bombed a wedding, and they like killed 29 family members.
Yeah, the Middle East is
Just by
honestly
using the drone.
collapsing right now.
Oh, what is there to do?
And the Syrian refugee crisis too. That's not showing any signs of slowing down yet.
Exactly.
And the reaction to all those refugees is pretty terrible too. Yeah, you have Hungary that just straight up is like, don't come here. You know, they had press conferences and everything, just to tell them to go somewhere else.
I know it's pretty horrible.
It's pretty horrible. But Germany is taking them all in, which is surprising.
Well, I think they're trying to make up for
That's
some
ex-
stuff in the past.
Yeah, that's exactly what my friend Mitch was saying the other day too when we had a conversation about this. He was like, they've lived a bad history, so they're trying to change.
They're trying to be the front runner for
Yeah.
peace.
And
Well, they are pretty much like the front-running economic country in
Yeah.
Europe. So
And
it does
ever
make
since
sense.
the 40s, they've been one of those countries that the world can rely on to be, you know, you need to send your refugee somewhere. All right, come on over.
well,
Okay, friends, we can't end the show on such a sad and horrible note. Phil, tell us what's coming up on Filthy Habits.
yeah, what's coming up on your show?
You know, it's nothing special. Just doing a bit of a throwback Thursday because 22 years ago was the last time the Blue Jays made the playoffs. So I figured it'd be appropriate that
Go Jays,
my
go.
show
Go
is
Jays,
22 years ago. All the music and different shenanigans that happened in regards to.
So you're gonna be playing like some Nirvana, you know?
I will probably play Nirvana, probably some Britney Spears, whatever songs were popular in 1993.
All right.
Definitely
flashback
some Nirvana.
episode.
Definitely some Nirvana. They were big in '93.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, let's end the show with like some happy tunes.
Backstreet Boys?
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Okay. That was a joke. I don't actually want to listen to Backstreet Boys.
Oh, well, you know, some people don't.
It's all right.
Some people are
Apparently
serious about
some
that.
techs hijack your show and just play One Direction. Mitchie, wherever you are.
All right, friends.
Okay.
Everyone's favorite Canadian, The Weeknd. Here is Wanderlust.
I want to make